Hi, it's Caroline at the Benicia Public Library. Today we're doing a craft. If you signed up for the art theme for summer reading program, we gave you some of these supplies. Otherwise, you might have them at home or you might have something else that will work. So let's take a look. This is the white crayon resist art. So what does that all mean? Well, in your kit, you will have received a white crayon, or maybe you have one at home if you didn't sign up for our kit. And a lot of times, if you have a white crayon and you draw on white paper, you're kind of like, nothing shows up. What's the point? So this is an activity to show you some ways that you can use this for art projects. Basically, you're going to want a piece of paper. The paper we gave you was watercolor paper, which is a little thicker. The side that's a little bit bumpy is the side you want to use. The side that's smooth is kind of the back, but it's okay if you don't use the right side. It'll work, I'm sure. So basically the idea is on the watercolor paper or whatever paper you have at home, you draw a picture with the white crayon. And you might not be able to see it super well. You might be able to see it a little bit, but it's going to be a white picture on a white paper. So it's going to kind of, be a little hard to see. Now here's where it gets a little more interesting. With tissue paper, you're going to use that to try to get some of the color from the tissue paper to bleed into the white paper. So that color goes into the paper, but the parts that you drew the white on, that design suddenly appears. And that's what the resist is. Resist means that the parts where the white crayon are, they don't get the color. They stay white. So that's the idea behind this project. So basically the way it works, draw your white design on a piece of paper, watercolor paper if you have it, it's great. And then you can take tissue paper. So the colors that, we tested a lot of our tissue paper that we have here at the library, and not every color really performed very well. Some of the ones we had the most success with were yellow, brown, and then also blue. So I just made an example for you right now using the blue. As you can see, that bled really beautifully into the paper. A tip that might help you, something we realized, sometimes it depends which way you put the tissue paper down. So if you realize that the color didn't really transfer, flip over the tissue paper and do it again and see if that works better. So basically, you want to use water to help this whole process of the color kind of bleeding. So you can take your original paper and get it wet. Make sure you draw the crayon design first. You don't want to draw the crayon on the wet paper. So draw the crayon on white paper, get the paper wet. You can either, if you have a spray bottle, you can spray water on it at home. That's a really great way to do it. You could also just run it under the sink and get it wet. That also totally works. Then you put the tissue on top and get that wet as well. And you could also, like I said, if you have a spray bottle, perfect to spray it with the water. If you don't have a spray bottle, you can use the sink again or just kind of carefully dab some water. You just want to make sure it's kind of pressed onto there and make sure that you can see the color kind of transferring. All right, now that we can see some color is transferred, I'm going to remove this. And as you can see, oh my goodness, it's so bright. You probably can't see it. There we are. The design I drew is this little leaf. So that is the design that I drew with my crayon. So any design that you made hopefully shows up with that color that transferred from the tissue paper. Now this one right now, this transferred really beautifully, and that's really kind of a nice rich color. You may or may not have the same results. Like I said, we really tested all the colors we had here at the library, and we kind of had some mixed feedback. Like I said, if it doesn't work right away, try flipping the tissue paper over. Now, another idea you can try. At home, if you have watercolor paint, you can skip the tissue paper altogether, draw your design with white, and then use the watercolor and kind of water over it, and it'll still have that resist where that white design shows up and everything else gets colored. So watercolors will work really well with this technique if you have them. If you don't have them, that's totally fine. You can experiment with other ways, other things. You might try drawing with the white crayon and then using markers or something over it and see if that helps resist the white. I don't know for sure if that'll work, but you could try it out. This is a chance for you to get artistic and get creative and try something. Alternately, if you don't have a white crayon or if you just want to try a different resist technique, something else that works for this resist art And again, the resist just means that your design shows up after another color kind of was put over it, and the color didn't go where the resist is. You can also use oil pastels, or probably not pastel chalk, but oil pastels. If you have those at home, you could also try that for the resist part. But, if you don't have oil pastels, don't worry about it. Just find a white crayon. And again, if you signed up for the art summer reading program theme, we gave you a white crayon in your packet, so you can use that. So this was the white crayon resist art. If you look in the book, or I'll just show you because not everyone got this book, there's a really pretty example of one that was done with a lot of different colors. I wish we could have provided all of those colors for you. Like I said, we kind of had mixed luck with the supplies we had, but I hope this was successful for you. If it wasn't, it's just a technique that you could try. If it didn't totally work out, I hope you still had fun experimenting with it. And like I said, you could still use that white crayon and kind of experiment with other ways to get that resist effect. So anyway, that was how to do that technique. And I hope you had a chance to try it. If you did the art theme, that is your activity 7. So once you've tried it, you could just say you completed it. Or, if you watch this video and you think, I don't really want to do that, that's fine. For any of the activities in any of the booklets, for any of the themes, you are always welcome to do an alternate activity. And that can be something similar, like trying to do something with a white crayon that's like a little bit different, but still like art. Or you could read a book or do something, kind of more reading themed if you'd like. Really, it's up to you what activity you'd like to do. So I hope that gave you some inspiration for trying out some of your own art. Again, my leaf turned out pretty beautifully for this example, so I hope you have some good luck making a design. And if not, that's okay. Sometimes we try things in art and they don't quite go the way we plan. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and thank you for doing the summer reading program. All right, bye.